Did Margot Robbie undergo plastic surgery to look more like Barbie? Well, the first question is, which Barbie? So I guess if we're talking about the blonde Barbie, I think Margot kind of already looked like Barbie. So, the blonde Barbie at least. So I don't think she actually did plastic surgery to look like that Barbie, but I do think she's had some plastic surgery. Margot Robbie is now 33 years old, and obviously started out very pretty to begin with, but I do think she's done some things to enhance her look. If we look at her when she was younger, obviously she has a little bit more of the baby fat in her face, and she has more features that are a little bit softer. And then naturally, as she's getting a little bit older, like I say, the face leans out a little bit, the features become slightly more angular. So I think some of the changes are natural just with aging, but then we see some other changes that may not be so natural. I think one thing that a lot of people are pointing out, and I notice, is her eyes. She started out really young having heavy upper eyelids, and we see her now and she doesn't have that anymore. So I am suspicious at some point that she might have undergone what's called an upper blepharoplasty, where some of the skin is taken out from the upper eyelid. I think also she had really heavy upper eyelids. It's rare, but sometimes people are also remove some of the fat pads from here to open up the eyes and make them look less heavy. That may have happened. So with an upper bleph or upper eyelid surgery, they can do what's called a canthopexy and come down and pull up the outer angle of the eye here. So it is suspicious she may have done that to open up her eyes, as well as change that angle and give her a more rested, open eye appearance. Then if we move to her nose, now again, she started out with a pretty nose, but I do think there are some slight refinements to her nose. In some of her pictures, you may even see a slight contour deformity on the bridge. So it's possible she did somewhat of a finesse rhinoplasty, maybe a little bit of reshaping in the bridge, and maybe a little bit of tip refinement, because the tip of her nose was a little bit more bulbous and soft when she was younger, and now appears again a little bit more defined and sculpted. And if she did, it probably was what's called a closed rhinoplasty or a scarless rhinoplasty. We don't see a look this way in her nose to see if there's a scar, but it looks like most likely that's what it would have been. And then if we look at her face in general, we do notice that she's got much more of a contoured lower face, a little bit more of a sucked in appearance of the lower face. When she was younger, she had those big chubby cheeks, and sometimes that goes away naturally as we get a little older, but hers is really extreme. So it is a little suspicious for a buccal lipectomy where that fat pad is removed here. And in some of her photos where she's a little thinner, we do notice that it's almost a little gaunt in some of those photos. So it's possible. And then I think she's just doing the everyday kind of maintenance stuff, Botox, fillers. We look under her eyes, we see sometimes that changes a little bit, that it's a little bit more full under her eyes. So maybe some under eye filler. And then I also think some lip filler. When she was younger, she had more of a pout to her lower lip. And I think the lips are a little bit more balanced now. So I am suspicious that she may have put a little bit of filler in her upper lip just to balance out her lips. And lastly, one thing I think she did do to look more like the blonde Barbie is, of course, change her hair color from brunette to blonde. Also, we don't want to ignore the body. Obviously, Margot keeps herself in good shape, so she also has the blonde Barbie body as well. And then she's probably doing some maintenance with great skincare, maybe some microneedling, some things just to keep that glow to her skin. So I think overall, Margot is a great representation of the blonde Barbie.